Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the English news from Djibouti channels. Here are the headlines of our edition tonight. The main titles are: the President of the Republic, Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, participated with other delegation in the funeral of the late Saad Omar Guelleh. On continental news, the presidential in Tunis Qarawi candidate to be released soon, according to his lawyer. Welcome if you join us even before the arrival of the remain of the late Saad Omar Guelleh, the President of the Republic's Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, received today the VIP lounge at the airport. In return, the important delegations who came to pay a final tribute to the late Saad Omar Guelleh. The first Somali delegation led by President Musa Bihi Abdi, a large Ethiopian delegation led by the Minister of Finance of the country, Mr. Ahmed Sheed, and including in particular the special advisor to the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Mr. Mahmoud Dirir, and the Vice President of the Somali region of Ethiopia, Mr. Adam Farah. A collective of officials from the Federal Republic of Somalia under the agencies of the Deputy Prime Minister of Somalia, Mr. Mahdi Mohammed Guled, among others, were among the high-ranking officials from the country of the region who attend the funeral of the late Saad Omar Guelleh. It was on Ethiopian Airlines plane that the remains of a deceased man were brought back to the motherland. The Director General of the Port of Djibouti and the young brother of the President of the Republic, Saad Omar Guelleh, was buried today in the late morning at Pika 12 Cemetery in Balbala, a suburb of Djibouti city. In addition to the family members of the deceased, including President Ismail Omar Guelleh, personality from all sectors of activity in our country, an immense number of anonymous people came to pay a final tribute to the memory of the late senior Djiboutian official. After receiving the remains at the airport, a funeral processions lead the deceased at to the Salma Mosque in Pika 12, where, in accordance with Islamic rites, he was entitled to a funeral prayer. Before the final burial at the Pika 12 cemetery, it should also be noted that the President of the Republic's Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh continued to receive expression of sympathy and sad condolence regarding the death of his younger brother and the former Director General of the port. With his death, the President of Djibouti lost one of their valiant and worthy son, a source of inspiration and a public servant value by these births. He has always been resolutely committed to the service of the nation with abnegation for the advent of a better world.
فقه من فتنة القبر وعذاب النار. أنت أهل الوفاء، أنت أهل الوفاء، أنت أهل الوفاء والحق، فاغفر له وارحمه، إنك أنت الغفور الرحيم. اللهم عبدك وابن أمتك احتاج إلى رحمتك، احتاج إلى رحمتك، وأنت غني عن عذابه وأنت غني عن عذابه إن كان محسنا فزده في حسناته وإن كان مسيئا فتجاوز عنه يا أرحم الراحمين اللهم مد له في قبره مد بصره واجعل قبره روضة من رياض الجنة ولا تجعل قبره حفرة من حفر النار.
The President of the Republic, Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, continued to receive message of condolence and sympathy following the death last Monday of his younger brother and the former Director General of the port, Saad Omar Guelleh. The Minister of Budget, Mr. Abdulkarim Adan Shah, also the Dr. Nabil Muhammad Ahmed, Minister of Higher Education, the Minister of Trade, Mr. Hassan Hamad Ibrahim, on behalf of the government and people of Ethiopia, the Ambassador of Ethiopia to Djibouti, Mr. Abdulaziz Mohammed, the President of the Somali region of Ethiopia, Mr. Mustafa Mohammed Umar, as well as the President of the Somali Democratic Party of Ethiopia, Mr. Ahmed Sheed, the government of the Somali region of Ethiopia, Djibouti's ambassador to Morocco, Mr. Ibrahim Bille Douali, the ambassador of Djibouti to Yemen, Mr. Mohammed Isa, and the Djibouti consul Saeed Dawa Aden Musa, as well as Mrs. Hasna Moomin Bahdon, president of the BSD party, Ilaya also and as well as the children of the former Prime Minister Barkhad Gurad and Abdul Wahib Mekki, contractor in Obah, present their sincere condolences to the President of the Republic of Djibouti, Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, to the family following the death of the deceased Saad Omar Guelleh, who was the general manager of the port of Djibouti, the president of the port authority, Mr. Abu Bakr Omar Hadi, the director general, Mr. Mohammed Fuad, and all the staff of the ONIAD, the Ethio-Djibouti Railway Management and the director, Hassan Mohammed Kamil, the management and the staff of the MTS, East African Bank, Djibouti leaders, Sheikh Hussein Omar Al-Amoudi, and all the staff of the Society AC Reyes, the Djibouti Road Hauliers Association, the president of the Djibouti artist, the songwriter Adan Farah Samatar, the person in charge of the corridor, Mr. Mohammed Hassan Zidan, the commander of the Obah Police, Colonel Kamil Ali Mohammed, the Kako family, and the Rattle Association of District 2, the mediator of the Youth Association, Mr. Khair Burali Guelleh, as well as the pensions representative, Mr. Elmi Wais Bouh, Imam, and chairman of the committee Al-Rahma Gasha Male, Mr. Ahmed Hassan Migane, all express their deepest condolence to the President of the Republic and the family and loved one of the late Saad Omar Guelleh, asked the God to welcome him to his eternal paradise. Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. The President of Somaliland, Mr. Musa Bihi Abdi, left this morning the capital of Djibouti after participating the funeral of the late Saad Omar Guelleh with other high-ranking officials from the country of the region who attended the funeral this morning. The Jago Youth Association District 7 area invited during the celebration on the second anniversary of their organization the day before yesterday, the Minister of the Budget, Mr. Abdulkarim Adan Shah, the Secretary of State for Youth and Sport, Mr. Hassan Mohammed Kamil, and the Mayor of Djibouti, Mrs. Fatuma Awale, to the Women's Sport Complex located near the second arrondissement. The anniversary of the Jago Youth organization was an opportunity for the leaders to see the facilities of the women's sports complex. To go directly to the objective of this meeting, the president of the association addressed the leaders to meet the needs of the youth of Jago who do not have a football field and also a space of internment. The Secretary of State and Youth and Sport, Mr. Hassan Mohammed Kamil, stressed his satisfaction with this meeting and added that such as meetings are held periodically. The young people who followed one another have submitted many complaints to us and we were ready to answer, he added the Secretary of State. He also has pledged that the girls team from Football District 7 will be able to play in the women's sport complex from another neighborhood. The ambassador of the Guardian of the Two Holy Mosques in Djibouti, Mr. Abdulaziz bin Abdullah Al-Matar, made a working visit to the north of the country last Tuesday, where he began his visit to the white city of Tajura. In this first stage, the Saudi ambassador met with the new and prefect of region, Mr. Hassan Dabali Ahmed, who received him at the prefecture headquarters. During the meeting, the two men discussed the fraternal relation and cooperation between Djibouti and Saudi Arabia in various areas. After the visit of the ambassador of the Guardian of the Two Holy Mosque in Djibouti, Mr. Abdul Aziz bin Abdullah Al-Matar was of region. He first met the new prefect of the region, Mr. Abdul Malik Mohammed Benoita, who welcomed him and thanked him for his visit, which shows the interest he attached to the consolidations of fraternal relation and the close ties that united the two brotherly countries. Following this meeting, Ambassador Abdulaziz Al-Matar, accompanied by the regional commissioner and the president of the regional council, visited the Markazi camp of Yemen refugees to learn about their living conditions and supervise the distribution of the food donation provided to them each month. And the Center of Relief and Humanitarian Action. In total, 375 Yemeni refugees family residing in the center benefits from this food. On continental news, in Tunisia, imminent release of the Qarawi candidate. According to his lawyer, that the Tunisian judiciary has decided to release presidential candidate Nabil Qarawi, who should be released from prison on Wednesday evening, a few days before the second round, said one of its lawyers. Kamil bin Masoud. This decision of the Court of Cassation comes at a time when Mr. Qarawi, who has been in prison since the end of August and suspected of money laundering, is facing independent lawyer case, said on Sunday in the second round. This judgment overturns the judgment of the indictment chamber, which had placed Mr. Qarawi under the warrant of arrest in the context of investigation for money laundering and tax fraud. Here we write the end of this news edition. Thank you for watching us. Goodbye and have a good night.